What he said has Canucks fans fired up as Filip Chytil speaks in a recent interview revealing his expectations heading into next season as Adam Foote continues looking for the second line center of the future, and all signs are pointing towards a breakout campaign from Filip Chytil. We're to break down all these quotes from Chytil, how he speaks on his health going into next season, where he currently stands, and the future of the Vancouver Canucks, and so much more later on this episode. Before we get into that, if you're part of the 58.5% watching this that haven't hit the sub button yet and you're enjoying this daily Canucks content and you want to stay up to date on everything to do around the team, from rumors, reports, interviews, and all the way to prospects, make sure to go down, hit that free subscribe button. Helps a bunch, and in return, we'll give you daily updates. But with that, let's just hop straight into this today, where we do know Filip Chytil spoke in a recent interview, revealing a lot about the Canucks himself and going into next year, and all signs are pointing to exactly what the lineup will unfold like. Now, Filip Chytil goes in and he speaks in the interview. Most of the young guys who are playing in the AHL and are trying to make it to the NHL, I'm very happy for them because they have so much energy, and that's what I need. Now, looking at this Canucks team, one underrated thing is, yes, we know the core of this team with Petey, with Brock, Jake DeBrusk, and so many forwards, but there's so many Abbotsford players knocking on the door, and it seems like it's a matter of when and not if these guys break into the lineup. Now, there's going to be an internal battle in camp, as a lot of these players are just on the verge of making the big club. Linus Karlsson seems set to crack the team out of camp. DPD and Mancini are going to be battling for a spot. We know Tom Willender, Jonathan Lekimaki, the two top prospects headlining this team. All these players are going to fight for a spot within this lineup, and this camp is going to get very interesting. And Filip Chytil says it himself. The energy they bring, that's what he needs. And this is what a Canucks team that is coming off quite a bad season is going to need going into next year. Now, going farther into this, Filip Chytil speaks. I was very happy that I finished the season with the guys on the ice for a couple of practices. 2 weeks after I came back to the Czech Republic, I started to work out and skate. Now it's almost 4 months already where I'm working out and skating. Knock on wood, I feel very good and feel very positive. Now, Filip Chytil, and his biggest issue since breaking into the league was staying healthy through a full season. We've seen him join the Vancouver Canucks after a trade, sending JT Miller to the New York Rangers. Joining the Canucks, Filip Chytil looked electric, scoring in his first game, looking like the absolute perfect play driver, but his season was cut short after a dirty hit. Now, going into Filip Chytil, he put up 6 points in 15 games, trying to learn a new system in the midst of a season. It's very hard, and Chytil spoke on this as well. Going from the New York Rangers to a heavy Canucks team where we see the Western Conference play look a lot different was a big transition, but now coming into a healthy offseason, being able to work out and skate, this is going to open up a huge opportunity where we could see, and I'm willing to bank on a performance where he's going to go up and put up more than 45 points. Now, 45 points in 74 games came in 22-23 with the New York Rangers, where we did see him go out and pot 22 goals, have a good playoff run, putting up 4 points in 7 games. If Filip Chytil can consistently stay healthy and within this lineup, it's going to get very interesting how he breaks in as the number 2 center, and it's going to get interesting if this changes Patrik Allvin and Jim Rutherford mind on looking for a true number 2 if Chytil can emerge as that. Now, the biggest thing is we know not a lot of games over the span since 2017-18. The biggest thing coming in his performance where he put up 45 points in the season, only 3 power play goals, giving him more time on ice, more time on 5-on-5, which he's going to get with this Canucks team stepping in as the number 2 center. It's going to get interesting how much he can perform. We know he can drive a line. We've seen him be able to pot goals. We know he can break into the neutral zone. It's just a matter of playing 75 plus games with this Canucks team and hopefully lead them into the playoffs and winning a Stanley Cup. Now, he does continue on talking about where he stands with his injuries, but at the moment, just diving into Money Puck, going with minimum ice time of 50 minutes. This is the top lines for the Canucks last season with expected goals. We see number 1, DeBrusk, Miller, and Boeser. Obviously, this line cannot be ran anymore, but when looking at the next 4 lines, it gets very interesting. Drew O'Connor, Teddy Bluger, and Linus Karlsson, 59% expected goals, second highest on the Canucks. this is going to shape out to most likely be the Canucks' fourth line. Working your way down of Höglander, Pettersson, and Garland once again looks like a top line. DeBrusk, Petey, and Garland, of course, you can put DeBrusk up with Pettersson. We've seen DeBrusk speak in a recent interview and say a big reason he came to the Canucks is because he wanted to be able to play with Pettersson, so maybe we see this happen. And Drew O'Connor, Chytil, and Boeser. All things seem like Filip Chytil and Boeser are going to end up working together. We know Pettersson and Garland have shown to work. You can plug in either Höglander or move DeBrusk as the first line winger. But if you run Chytil, Boeser, and whoever is left over, a Vander Kane or Höglander, this is going to give them the perfect second line to build on going into next season. Now, once again, looking at the projected, Pettersson, Chytil, Ratu, and Blueger are most certainly going to be the depth down the middle. On the right side, which is quite stacked in Garland, Boeser, Sherwood, and Karlsson, this leaves the left side of DeBrusk, Kane, Höglander, and Drew O'Connor. Now, this is going to change a lot. We're going to see a lot of different lines going through training camp, especially with the young guys trying to break into the system. Maybe Jonathan Lekkerimäki is ready, breaking in to score 20 goals. Maybe we see Kravtsov join this team after seeing some experience already playing with Filip Chytil. And we've seen this report in the last Kravtsov video where Kravtsov and Chytil played together a few times in their career. They played in the AHL in 2019. They also played 67 minutes and 50 seconds together on the Rangers in 22-23. They outscored opponents 5-1. Maybe this is foreshadowing this training camp. But the biggest thing kind of hinges on the Canucks going out to stay healthy. Now with Filip Chytil, he goes in and says, everything depends on my health right now. I know what I can do, and I will do everything to help our team make it to the playoffs again. To make it successful season for us, I need to focus on my health as well. I'm coming at the beginning of September, probably the second week of September. This was talking about joining the Vancouver Canucks, coming to Vancouver, and getting into training camp. It's only a couple of weeks away until we're going to get this Canucks team back on ice during training camp, the rookie scrimmages into the preseason, and that's when the season starts. Now, I do completely agree. This whole season depends on Filip Chytil staying healthy. If you go into the season with this Canucks team, you lose Filip Chytil, that's when the center position gets a little tricky. Yes, you can put Teddy Blueger as the second line center, Aatu Ratu staying on the third. You can move someone up like Niels Lemon, Max Sasson, any of these players, but it's going to hinge on this team staying healthy. All the way from Elias Pettersson and Filip Chytil to Brock Boeser, Thatcher Demko, it's going to be a season of health. And we're praying as Canucks fans that it does stay like this. I mean, Filip Chytil is having a long offseason, working out, training. He's doing the player media tour in Milan for the Olympics. It gets very exciting to look at this Canucks team. But how do you feel about Filip Chytil going in? What is your thoughts on his quotes? Going to speak on the young guys joining this team, on how he's happy, how he finished the season healthy, getting some practices in, all the way to him speaking on, as soon as I can find it, his health going in and how that's going to make or break a successful season. Let me know down in the comments. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, and we're not slowing down on content, especially with the season just around the corner. So keep your eye out for that, Canucks fans. Go ahead and leave any of your positive thoughts on the Canucks. Who do you think is going to lead them in goals, assists, points? Who do you think emerges as the #1 goalie? Is it Thatcher Demko looking for revenge, or Kevin Lankinen? Let me know down below. But that'd be it for this episode. Take care, Canucks fans.